Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Chef Daal. I received an email the other day, and it's a really interesting email that I want to share with everyone. Dear Chef Daal, thank you so much for all the work you've been doing on YouTube. We really love your show. Love being here, always a pleasure. We have tried making Daal Makhani at home, but we can never match the taste of that we get in the restaurants. Can you please show us how to make Daal Makhani the way they do it at restaurants? Daal Makhani is a fantastic dish. It is truly the king of dals. It's extremely rich, very, very high in calories, but it is so good. Now, there aren't many recipes out there showing you how to do it restaurant style. I do have to warn you, it takes a very long time to do it, but it really is simple and easy because all you're doing is letting the dal slow cook for a very, very long period of time. The results are fantastic, very, very tasty. I'm going to show you how to make the restaurant style Daal Makhani today, and in another episode I'm going to show you how to make a comparable Daal Makhani using a shortcut method. Today, it's restaurant-style Daal Makhani. So without any further ado, let's cook! Now, when making Daal Makhani, the most important ingredient that you're going to need is time. You cannot rush this process if you're going to make restaurant-style Daal Makhani. You've got to give it all the time in the world. Daal Makhani is made with the whole lentil known as urad dal or black gram dal. This is easily available at the Indian store and in certain supermarkets in the ethnic aisle. Use 1 3/4 cups of urad dal to 1/4 cup of red kidney beans. The most important thing you need to do is soak it overnight. Over here, I've got lentils that are fresh out of the bag, and these are lentils that I soaked overnight. And you can see the difference. They really swell up and they become bigger and they cook a lot better and they have a different taste. Now, the hardware required to make Daal Makhani. You need to have a wonderful pot with a nice heavy bottom that can take long hours of cooking. And you need to have something that will diffuse the heat. So what I use is a cast iron pan. I place the vessel on the cast iron pan when I want to slow cook it, and I can leave it there for hours and be assured that the dal is not going to burn. After the lentils have soaked overnight, strain in a colander. Give it a good rinse, put it back in a pot and cover with water. Take this back to the flame and bring your lentils to a boil. Now at first when the dal is boiling, the first thing you're going to notice is the sort of scum that's going to start accumulating on the surface. That's perfectly fine. You just have to make sure you keep skimming it off. And once the dal has come to a boil, you turn the heat down to low and just let it simmer and cook till it starts to thicken up. Now as you can see, we have reached a consistency where the dal is starting to thicken up. The slow heat is starting to coax the goodness out of the dal, and that's what we are looking for. It's now time to add the flavor components. First thing we're going to need is ginger and garlic paste. Ginger and the garlic paste is now melded beautifully with the dal. It's starting to lose that harsh aroma. It's starting to smell really, really pleasant. It's now time to add our spices. The spices we use are turmeric powder, coriander powder, red chili powder, and paprika, also known as degi mirch. Mix well and allow these to cook on slow flame. Now you don't really have to be standing here at all times stirring it. Just leave your dal on slow fire, and every time you need to go to the kitchen to get a drink of water, to get a beer, whatever you need to, just lift up the lid and give your dal a gentle stir. Next, it's time to add the tomatoes to the dal. The tomatoes are what's going to give it that wonderful acidic edge, the bright citrus flavor, and it is also going to give it a wonderful deep color. Right here I've got whole peeled tomatoes. You can also use tomato puree, but I prefer the whole peeled variety, and I like to puree it myself. I just feel you get a better quality tomato that way, and you get a nice brighter taste. I'm also going to be using tomato paste, which I dissolve in water, mix it up so it blends very well with the dal. And now it's time to add that ingredient that's going to give the dal its rich texture and phenomenal flavor. We're going to add the butter. Now don't be afraid when adding butter. Remember, you're not making this dal every day, and this is an indulgence. So go ahead and splurge. Nobody's gonna fault you for it. Add as much butter as you think your conscience will allow you. Add your butter to the dal. Give it a gentle stir. Allow the butter to dissolve and combine well with the Daal Makhani. It's looking good. Take a cast iron pan or a heavy bottom skillet, add in some kasuri methi. You want to toast this gently, and I find a folded paper towel is the best tool to agitate and break up the kasuri methi into small little bits. Look at the dal, beautiful red color. That's telling me the tomato paste is doing its work. Add the kasuri methi and garam masala powder for that added kick of flavor. And finally, to finish it off, heavy cream. Hey, this dal is delicious. I never said anything about it being low fat, so don't blame me. The cream is our final ingredient. Mix it well. This has been almost 8 hours since we started cooking the dal, and almost 16 hours if you take the soaking time into consideration. It's time to give it a taste. Phenomenal. Just freaking phenomenal. This dal is the true food for the gods. It's absolutely delicious. Yes, it may be high in calories. Yes, it may be full of butter and cream. Who cares? Once in a while, you gotta live a little and indulge it. Daal Makhani is the way to go. Serve this alongside rice or your favorite bread such as naan or parathas. You are gonna have a true feast. This is Chef Dharma signing out. Hope you had a great time on this show, and wishing one and all happy eating.